This video shows a man being arrested and led away in handcuffs inside one of the busiest airports in America. He is a convicted felon. He is armed, and he had publicly stated he was heading there to shoot it up. Thanks to a quick tip from his family, law enforcement arrested him before the violence could begin. His name is Joe Cagle, age 49, of Cartersville, Georgia, and his plan was nearly a tragedy in motion. Now we dive into how the plot emerged, how it was stopped, and what this case reveals about threats in today's age. It was Monday morning on October 20th, 2025, around 9:40 a.m. The Cartersville Police Department received a troubling call from Cagle's own family. They reported that he had been live streaming on social media, announcing he was heading to the Atlanta airport with an assault rifle and a plan to shoot it up. At the same time, multiple agencies were alerted. The family's tip sparked a chain reaction. Cartersville PD alerted the Atlanta Police Department, and airport security monitored the terminal. The clock was ticking. Surveillance footage shows Cagle arriving at Hartsfield-Jackson in a Chevrolet pickup around 9:29 a.m. He parked at the curb of the south terminal, then walked inside the passenger area. Police say he appeared to be scoping the crowded TSA checkpoint zone, watching as travelers funneled in and out. He had the intention to inflict harm to as many people as he could. Captain Greg Sparacio of Cartersville PD later told reporters. Less than 15 minutes after the tip arrived, officers moved in. At around 9:54 a.m., Atlanta police officers approached Cagle. Body cam footage shows them show him a photo and ask why he was in the terminal. Without resisting, Cagle was escorted out and placed in cuffs. He didn't have the gun on him at the moment, but the weapon was nearby. Inside his parked truck, law enforcement later found a Springfield AR-15 style rifle and 27 rounds of ammunition in the flatbed. With the suspect in custody, authorities declared what they called a tragedy averted. Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum stated, "We're here today briefing you on a success and not a tragedy because a family saw something and said something. The operation had worked." Investigators believe Cagle had arrived to scout the terminal before retrieving his rifle from the truck. He walked inside the front door, looked toward the checkpoint area, and paused. Officers say they believe at that point he was preparing for a mass casualty event, and the weapon in his truck was meant to be used in the terminal. As part of the federal investigation, agents are working to discover how he obtained the firearm despite being a convicted felon, which legally barred him from possession. Authorities described Cagle's mental health condition as part of the case. Family members and friends noted signs of schizophrenia. In one social media post, he referenced being set up, under surveillance, and victimized. Joe Cagle's prior conviction arose decades earlier for drug-related or marijuana possession charges. That past made the possession of any firearm illegal in his case once he reached the terminal. Officials treat this fact as central to their case. A felon and a gun, that combination alone triggered alarm. Add the tip that he was targeting a major airport, and you have a high-threat scenario. Federal charges now include making terroristic threats, criminal attempt to commit aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a felon. Hartsfield-Jackson processes nearly 300,000 passengers daily. It's deeply secured, but even so, the suspicion of a shooter sent ripples across the terminal. Officials responded fast, increased patrols, reassessing vehicle curbside access, reviewing camera feeds, and thanking crisis response teams. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens said, 27 or more lives could have been lost today. Travelers and airport workers later said they realized how close it had been. How quickly things could unravel in a place built for transit, not for terror. In many thwarted attacks, community tips play a big role. In this case, it was the suspect's own family who called the police. Their decision to share the live stream and alert authorities is credited with preventing a tragedy. Chief Shearbaum emphasized that moment of choice. That is what a proper response by citizens and by law enforcement should look like. Indeed, the chain of communication took only minutes. Tip to arrest. Less than half an hour elapsed from initial alert to suspect in handcuffs. With federal charges on the table, Cagle faces very serious consequences. The U.S. Attorney's Office labeled his conduct senseless threats of heinous violence to innocent travelers. The full investigation will explore motive, mental health, gun acquisition path, and whether any additional individuals were involved. At the state level, prosecutors may push for maximum penalties given the location, an international airport, and the nature of the threat, mass casualties. In the meantime, Cagle remains in custody, held without bond at Clayton County Jail. Experts warn that threats from lone actors, individuals not formally tied to terror groups, are increasingly common. Dr. Mark Ellison, a criminal behavior specialist, told media, "We're seeing a rise in self-radicalized offenders. They don't need orders from anyone. They just need a motive and a moment." In airports especially, the convergence of large crowds, limited exit paths, and security bottlenecks make them attractive targets. This case shows how rapidly the system must respond, and how easily a tragedy can be stopped when multiple agencies work in sync. While no one was injured, this incident remains a sobering reminder of what could have happened. Imagine the chaos 27 rounds, an AR-15, and a terminal full of people could create. In the words of Mayor Dickens, "We're thankful to God and to good information and good intel and good people for this crisis being averted." For travelers, this is a call to vigilance. For security teams, it's a signal that constant threats demand constant readiness. And for every viewer asking, yes, today it ended in custody. Tomorrow might not be so lucky unless people keep acting. If you want more real-life cases where you get details on crime, hit that like button. Subscribe for deep dive crime stories and leave a comment below.